Interact's parking space planning module is a very powerful module to manage the parking space available for employees at your organization, and it enables the facilities department to plan the space in terms based on the manpower plans that you have, and it also allows you to have employees request a particular favored parking space. And in those cases where you charge employees for some of that premium parking space, you can have that directly integrated with the Interact payroll, which means that the premium will be deducted automatically from the payroll without any manual intervention by anyone. So we're looking here at the parking general setup. As usual, you can set up a numbering scheme for parking request numbers, parking location numbers, parking assignment numbers. As I said, you can link it to payroll and choose a particular deduction that will be used for that. And then you also have the status of parking spaces, whether those are listed as assigned, reserved, and vacant, and if you want to use any other type of status, and who should approve the request for parking space. At least these are the standard workflow options. If you have the need for a more sophisticated workflow, we can of course support that too. Now, how does it work? Very simple. You're going to have your setup, which we just looked at. You're going to have parking locations and your parking space inventory, and then employees can request the parking space that'll be assigned to them if it's approved, and if anybody's leaving the organization, you will revoke the parking space. So if we go and look at the parking locations that have been defined in the system now, we'll see that for this particular parking lot, there are 10 entrances, there are 3 elevators, it's got a security camera, elevator is available and requires an access key, and so on. It also allows me to track what kind of cars are accepted. And here I can even see a map real quick. And the system will give me the map that's attached to the profile. So you basically have access to all the information you need to know about this location. Now let's look at the actual parking inventory. So here's our inventory of parking spaces in this organization. So we'll take a look at one of them real quick. Here you can see that you can actually restrict parking to a specific job group or job title if you wanted to. Otherwise, we are just indicating the row of the parking space, the adjacent space on the left side and on the right side. What security level are we talking about? What level of the building is it in? What's the distance to the entrance, the nearest elevator, cost, and so on. So everything is really in detail here, again, in order to assist employees that may have difficulty walking. All the information that is required should be there. So once we have this inventory in place, then what happens is that employees request space and we assign it to them and or revoke it. Let's take a look at how that works. So we'll take a look at Stacy here, one of our new employees, and I will have her request a parking space. It's a very simple process, very similar to all the other types of requests that you'll find in Interact. So let's say I would like to use that space as of May 1st, and my preference is for the affiliated parking lot. So here's my request. I filled in the parking space request with all the details, including information about my car, and I am going to go ahead and add the request. And you will see that once I get approved for this parking space, the system can be set up to email me the assigned parking space map even. Here's all the other information that will be associated with the request. So now this can either go through a approval process or maybe HR will handle this directly, and we will go ahead and assign the affiliated parking space. And this is all it takes to go ahead and assign that parking space to the employees. So in the self-service, the employee will be able to find the details also, and she will have received an email indicating what she's going to be charged. It's going to start deducting automatically from the payroll, and she will have a map sent to her. Now, if she wants to change her parking space, or if we want to revoke it from her for any reason, then we can do that also through the system. So the main objective here is, again, to make it easy to manage the inventory of parking spaces available to your employees, to allow them to request for the space online through self-service or from their smartphone, and for these spaces to be assigned to them and, if necessary, revoked if there's a need for it, and to have it integrated directly with payroll and any other module that makes sense. That's the purpose of this module.